Hi friends, welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be going over how I made these gorgeous cake pops. I will be linking my vanilla cake pop dough recipe down below for you guys because it is so delicious and easy to make. I always weigh my cake pop to 1 ounce, and right here I'm just rolling my cake pop dough. The secret to round cake pops is that you have to roll when your cake pop dough is cold so it holds its shape better, and you have to use your palms. And you have to just keep going until you get that perfect round ball. If you still need help, you just kind of squeeze the ball with your fingers and then just keep shaping your cake pop. I've been meaning to share this tutorial with you guys for a while now, and I'm so happy that I finally got a chance to. I made 12 cake pops, and right here I'm just rolling them using my palms like I said. If you still haven't checked out my vanilla cake pop dough recipe video, I really recommend you do because it just comes together perfectly without needing any frosting. And I share with you guys some cake pop tips, so I will be leaving it down below for you guys to watch because it is honestly a game changer. The very first time that I tried to make these cake pops, I used a toothpick, so I wanted to try that again. But this time I feel like my house was way too hot, so it just didn't work this time. I used the color Bright Pink in Sweet Tooth Fairy Chocolate, and right here I'm just tapping off the excess. As you guys can see, the toothpick was falling off a little bit, and I didn't want to keep struggling, so I ended up just doing cake pop sticks. Once the chocolate hardened on the cake pop sticks, we're going to start dipping in our chocolate and then removing all the excess chocolate. This part is really important, you guys, because when you put it on the candy melt, you don't want it to be sliding all over the place because that did happen to me. We also don't want the chocolate dripping on the candy melt because it just looks a little bit more messy, and that also happened to me. So just make sure that you tap off all the excess chocolate before putting it on the candy melt. So for the colors, I used bright pink, white, and then I also mixed a little bit of that bright pink with the white to get a lighter pink. I mixed my chocolate very well, and now I'm gonna dip my cake pops. Now we're gonna set aside our cake pops and let them harden. And once they do, we're gonna be able to remove our cake pop stick. Now you're gonna wanna twist the cake pop and the cake pop stick and remove it carefully because you don't wanna break the chocolate on top. For the decorations on top, I use this mold and I'm just adding a little bit of chocolate. Then I'm placing it in the fridge to harden. I also did this little beautiful angel, and to make it easier, honestly, I would use a Ziploc bag to put the chocolate inside the mold. But you're gonna put that aside in the fridge, and now we're gonna be working on our details on the cake pop. Make sure that you cut the hole on the Ziploc bag a little bit small so your lines are clean. Mines were a little bit messy. Honestly, I was in a hurry. But next time that I do make this again, I'm going to take my time and I'm going to make the hole on the Ziploc bag a little bit smaller. Okay, so right here I am just going around the cake pop and I'm holding the cake pop by the candy melt on the bottom. But I'm slowly adding these designs on the cake pop. I feel like the decorations on these cake pops are a little bit vintage, all the piping on them. Make sure that you're really focused, or like I had The Office as my background, and I feel like that like calms me down. I don't know, but it is so enjoyable once you get going. Just make sure that you're taking your time and try to make it a little bit cleaner than I am. Now we're going to be adding like a small little drip in between each ruffle. I don't know how to explain it, you guys. I'm so sorry. But anyways, you're going to want to let this harden after you're done. And then we're going to move on to the next one. Now for this one, I added some hearts to it. I kind of went around. As you guys can see, I did break some of that chocolate. That's why I told you guys to kind of twist it and go slowly so that doesn't happen to you guys. So this is where I was getting the hang of it, you guys. I realized that if I leave the cake pop stick on the cake pop, it is so much easier to decorate. So 100% I recommend you guys leaving the cake pop stick while you decorate and then taking it out once it hardens. This is another design, and it's 4 long lines with a little drip at the end of them. And then in between those, they're a little bit shorter. And like I said, the cake pop stick really helped me. Now was kind of like a little vine, and I was just going around the cake pop doing what I felt looked right. I did end up painting these gold. I thought it might look a little bit better than the hot pink. But right here, I'm just decorating, making the little leaves on the side. This drip I made a little bit different. It was just like a line going down with a heart at the end of it. Now that the chocolate has hardened, we're going to remove it from the mold, and now we're going to be able to put it on top of our cake pop. As soon as I take the chocolate out of the mold, I add new chocolate to the mold and I put it back in the fridge so we can go a little bit faster. We're going to be gluing everything with some chocolate, and right here we're going to finish removing the cake pop sticks from the cake pop. Remember to go really slow. Right here I'm removing some of the excess chocolate that accumulated on top of the cake pop so we can add our little gem. Now that we cleaned off the cake pops, we're going to add some chocolate and glue everything together. So for some of them, I added this luster dust on them to make it a little bit shiny, give it a different look. I was going over the lines because I ended up painting those gold, so I really didn't mind. Now these fondant roses are super cute and easy to make. We're gonna start off by grabbing a small piece of fondant, and then you're gonna roll it kind of, and then you're gonna grab some of that fondant that's on the bottom. You're gonna squeeze it so it's really thin, and you're gonna start creating the petals that go around the rose, and you're just gonna keep going until you feel like it's as big as you want it. On some of them I did use extra fondant, so the rose was a little bit bigger than I wanted them to be, so I ended up just removing some of that fondant out the bottom. I ended up adding 3 roses on the cake pops that I did add the roses to, and I made 3 different shades of pink. Now that we have all the roses made, I'm using this mold, and I'm gonna add a little bit of cornstarch, and I'm gonna add the same fondant that I used for the roses. And each of the cake pops that I put the flowers on had 3 flowers each. Now to finish off the cake pops, we're going to start adding some gold to them. I'll link the gold luster that I use, and I mix it with lemon extract. Once you get a good consistency, we're going to start painting all the details. So you're going to want to take your time with this and use a small brush to paint all of these little lines because you don't want it to be messy. I think if the cake pop still had the cake pop stick, it would be so much easier to paint. just because sometimes it can get a little bit messy with the gold luster. So I think for next time, I'm just gonna wait until I decorate the whole cake pops, and then remove the cake pop stick and then add the decorations on top. So what I did, I pretty much painted all of the gems. I'm just calling this a gem, but I'm painting all of the gems gold because I really didn't like how it looked pink. And right here, I'm just painting the base of the cake pop, which would be the candy melt. Like I said, make sure that you drip off all the excess chocolate before you add it to the candy melt, because in some of these the chocolate went over the candy melt and I really didn't like how that looked. Now we're finally putting the final touches on our cake pops. We're adding the small little flowers and I'm gluing everything together with some chocolate. To finish off the flower cake pops, I just added a small dot of gold in the middle of the flowers. And we are all done, you guys. I really hope that you enjoyed this video. I know it was pretty long, but I just wanted to show you, kind of like give you an idea of what I was doing. I know they're not perfect, especially when you look at them like close up, but they're so beautiful once you put them all together. These are the green ones that I had made about 3 years ago. They were so beautiful. A lot of people were asking me for the tutorial, so I was so happy that I was finally able to make it. I used a different gem on top, so in a different flower, but it was pretty much just the same concept. I feel like a navy blue would also be so beautiful. I don't know, like those deep colors, I feel like they just look so elegant. I really hope that you guys enjoyed this video, and if you have any questions, leave them down below. I will also be linking everything that I use down below for you guys. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you like these type of tutorials. I will be sharing much more, so I hope you guys stick around.